They were the worst of people, and they were the worst of people. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Whittle here with Steve Green and Scott Ott, and this is A Tale of Two Lefties brought to you by the paying members here at BillWhittle.com. Ladies and gentlemen, two stories that hit me from the Drudge Report today, both of them just showing just a kind of a little insight into the sort of miniature sort of operations of the kind of minds of people that become politicians in general and progressives in particular. So I thought we would just take a look at two examples of general sort of, wallowing in crapulence and get your guys' takes on this. So let's start with the all-star, needless to say, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who, as you know, has won a position as a member of the United States Congress, as a representative from the great state of New York. And after actually no time on the job, she's decided to take a vacation. She's decided to take a break, and she's called it a self-care break. You see, it's not a vacation, because that'd be kind of nuts. It's a self-care break. And I'd like to just use a little bit of the language for you guys, because I'm going to ask you both about this, and we'll ask you about the next one. So, Steve, how about you here? We'll start with you. She says that she needs to take care of herself before she starts her new job. And she also says that she's decided to take other people along with her on this discovery, presumably paid for by the taxpayers. Going to take them with them on Instagram as I learn what self-care even means and why it's important. So since we're now talking about a person who openly, apparently, is trying to deal with the amazing discovery that taking care of yourself at age 29 is a breakthrough thought, what else do you think we can expect from this kind of intellectual powerhouse, darling of the left?
Oh, you can laugh and sneer all you want, but do you know what it takes?
And I do.
And that's why we love you. But do you know what it takes out of a young woman who constantly has to ride herd on her Twitter monkey for embarrassing her in public day after day after day?
It's worse than Stalingrad.
No, let's call this what it really is. We used to call this a junket, only this junket has a social media aspect. So instead of going to a resort on the taxpayer dime to hobnob with like-minded people, she's going to do this with a coterie on Instagram so that she can keep her followers in her junket loop at all times. This is kind of brilliant PR, Bill. It's exactly what it is. I don't think she needs any me time or me healing. What are we calling this again?
Self-care.
What was it?
Self-care.
Self-care.
Yeah,
this is self-promotion is what this is. And on that
Didn't Pee Wee Herman get arrested for too much self-care at some point in the past? Is that what I'm remembering?
So. But I mean, we laugh and sneer, but the people who voted for her and the people whose vote she wants to earn in the future, they are going to lap this stuff up. That's Mark my words.
Of course they are.
It's just a sad commentary on the state of our culture.
Well, Scotty, here's what's, I think, a sad commentary on the state of the culture. If it turned out that Ms. Ocasio-Cortez had said simply, listen, I've been campaigning for a year and it's beaten the tar out of me. I'm just going to take a vacation for 10 days, get myself a little relaxed and get myself in shape for what's coming up. See you in January. There's not a personal life, certainly not me, who would say, well, she's not entitled to that. But that's not what she did. She went the whole, you should never go full socialist, but that's exactly what she did. So listen to the wording about this and tell me how this sounds to you, Scott. The reason is not that she's taking a vacation because she's been campaigning all year. No. Au contraire, that would be so patriarchal. What she's actually doing is this. She's saying, and this is a quote from her tweet, I'm taking a few days to take care of myself before what is sure to be an eventful term. For working people, immigrants, and the poor, self-care is political, not because we want it to be, but because of the inevitable shaming of someone doing a face mask while financially stressed. In other words, for working people, immigrants, and the poor, like me, at this point, I'm sorry, I've run out of.
I threw up in my mouth a little.
I got that little thing started flashing. It's like Norman, coordinate. I'm out. I'm done.
What do you
think about this?
What you just read, literally, this is the third time. I read it first, and then you read it during our backstage thing, and then you just read it now. I still cannot tell you what the heck that sentence means. I am struggling to figure out like it's a language unknown to me. But what I do know is this, that her job is not to be a legislator or a lawmaker, as they would say. Her job is to be a personality. And that is what got her elected. She is a personality. If you ask her any particular question about what she believes about something, there are innumerable videos on the internet of her struggling to answer questions about her views. That's not what got her elected. She is young. She's attractive. She speaks in vague terms about the kinds of things that Bernie Sanders, who is old and unattractive, would speak about. And all of this is designed to get us caught up in Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's aura. And we are just supposed to drink her in. When she says, I'm taking you on a journey with me, she's not taking you anywhere. She's going to take pictures of herself and put them on Instagram, and then you get to vicariously enjoy her downward dog position at her next yoga class because she's engaged in self-care. Everything about this is repugnant to anybody who had to live as a human in America.
Or those of us that are going to have to be paying for these vacations.
Let me jump in here for just a sec, because you know who she learned this from? The master of this stuff, Barack Obama. Here I am sitting on the same bus seat as Rosa Parks. It's the anniversary of the moon landing, and here I am looking at the moon. I mean, Obama
here I am looking
always
at the
made
moon.
it about Obama, and
But
here she
I think
is.
she's taken it to a new level, though, because that
Maybe.
at least had some connection with some idea that you could associate with governance. In this case, what she's intentionally doing here is crafting a cult of personality. She is building a personal connection between her and people who are fans of hers. I was going to say voters, but that's not really what we're talking about.
Fans,
people who are fans of hers around the country. She is like any other YouTuber or Instagram star who has become a celebrity by getting on there and showing you how to put your eyeliner on properly, or opening a package that just came in from Amazon. She is the perfect icon of our generation. And while we mock and laugh, she is going to be successful pursuing this technique, and she is going to rise to prominence to greater heights than any of us could ever imagine.
Well, I have no doubt. I mean, after all, a young woman of color who is vacuous, misinformed, lazy, and wrong. No wonder she's a standout champion for the left.
Did you say self-absorbed?
Now let's go. Did I not add self-absorbed?
You did, but I think you should say it again.
Okay. Just want to make
so
sure.
that's one of our lefties for the holiday season, and the other one is kind of almost in the opposite direction. Instead of being so warm and so touchy and so feely as Miss Ocasio-Cortez is, we now go to the strange case of Brooklyn's State Senator Kevin Parker, who tweeted out to a GOP staffer, "Kill yourself," which is not a very kind thing to do, and he actually deleted the tweet just a few moments later, which is now you know why I'm not on Twitter. We had this conversation just a few weeks ago. But Steve, here's the thing. Let me tell you why this state senator Kevin Parker told a Republican staffer on Twitter to go kill herself. Turns out that this Republican staffer had discovered that these kind of park anywhere you want to permits that members of Congress are issued was blocking. One car had one of those blocking the road, and the person found out that the permit belonged to Senator Parker, but the car didn't. And she pointed out on Twitter that this is not only corruption, it's illegal and it's against the law. And the Democratic, pragmatic, extremely tolerant champion of the left said, "Kill yourself. Just kill yourself, because you've had the temerity to unmask me for this illegal activity."
Yeah, I think next time he should dial back that language. Kill yourself, especially with our increasing suicide rate in this country, it's just a national tragedy, is an unacceptable approach. The proper response to something like this is, "How dare you, peasant!" I think that would more properly get across, and in a more polite way, what's really going on here. But that is the attitude. I'm an elected official. I get a parking tag that you don't, and I'm going to hand it out with my friends. So because I can, and anyone who dares to stop me is going to feel the full weight of my. How do you even describe this guy? But of his complete jerk. I cleaned that up. PR guy.
I thought you were looking for the word gravitas. No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't gravitas. It was anti-gravitas.
Yeah, it's a gravitational
He's got those
field.
anti-gravitas boots.
The gravitational field created by a purely theoretical particle is what this guy possesses. Yeah,
That's right.
It's shut up, peasant. And no, we won't shut up.
Well, Scott, I'm also a little concerned about the character of this guy. I mean, he does have his finger on the garbage disposal trigger, and that is something that I think should cause all Americans some serious pause, because he deleted the tweet, and apparently he apologized, and his apology is a masterpiece. I sincerely apologize, he wrote. I used a poor choice of words. Suicide is a serious thing and should not be made light of. And then almost right after that, he says, Candace, the woman who called him out, is nothing but an internet troll. To call her anything more is fake news. At the end of the day, she's someone who continues to represent the forces of evil and is on the wrong side of history for every important issue facing the state. And here we get to the genuine soul-searching, Scotty. Because it's a hard thing to watch a person, a man of dignity, have his entire soul laid bare before the entire public.
Flagellating.
But here's his closing remark on this. Even though I probably used the wrong words. Yeah,
That's big of him.
You probably did. Does anyone ask her why she spends her day trolling individual senators? Trolling individual senators in this case means pointing out public malfeasance, corruption, dereliction of duty, and other crimes and misdemeanors. Instead of trying to get her conference on the right message, meaning instead of coming around to the left-wing point of view, that is in line with the values of the people of the state of New York, Parker said. So his apology consists of maybe I kind of might have used a couple of the wrong words, but she's a doo-doo head and there.
Well, he starts out by basically apologizing that he was being humorous. So that's the start of it. Is it's a serious matter, and I shouldn't try to essentially joke about suicide. But then, by the time he gets to the end of the statement, it's clear that he was not intending to be humorous.
No, he wants her to kill herself.
Yeah,
just go kill yourself and just disappear. Yeah.
And
how dare you point this out to people?
I guess if it's a joke, well, then it's a very poor joke, and it's a good thing you went into politics because there's a market for that there. But if he's being serious, I guess you got to marvel. I mean, what a country, as Yakov Smirnoff would say, because what kind of person goes through a whole campaign of running for office, manages to get elected, and yet is so unguarded on social media that he posts something like that? Like that just has that hair trigger of immediately posting something that is going to, bring down the storm on you. And obviously President Trump is pretty unguarded on his Twitter usage, but he's targeted, and he doesn't. I can't even imagine President Trump saying something like that. He would ridicule the person, but he wouldn't say kill yourself. So I think that seriously, that is threat level. And I think that his colleagues ought to bring him before some sort of internal tribunal in his legislative body. Totally serious. Immediately. If that happened in the workplace, if I was in any other workplace and I told one of my colleagues you should kill yourself, I would be
fired immediately.
I'd be sitting in HR for the next 6 hours until they decided whether to fire me immediately or whether to have me arrested first. Yeah. And so I very seriously, we need to start treating these people who work for us as if they were employees and subjecting them to the same kind of safeguards that other employees enjoy in this country.
In Soviet Russia, public office runs for you. So anyway, just a little Christmas message from the people whose constant chorus of caroling is that they're the good people, the decent people, the kind people, the hardworking people, the people of the little guy. No, not so much actually. But in the spirit of Christmas, I suppose we could say, God bless us, everyone.
Amen.
Except for that guy.
Okay. Look at the date. Yeah, okay, God bless us, everyone. Let those of us without sin cast the first ballot. That'll do it for this edition of Right Angle, made possible by the paying members of BillWhittle.com. Thank you very much for your continued support during the year. We look forward to seeing you one more time, I think, before New Year's, and then we'll get back to work again.
Yeah.